So a little story time today about something that happened a while back that was super awesome, but it's one of those things that you're kind of like, wait, hold up, what? Like, how did that even happen? Oh yeah, thank you, God. And I think moments like that are always worth sharing. So here we go. Okay, honestly, there's like a lot of backstory to this, but we're not gonna really get into that. I'm just gonna try and cover what happened as simply as I possibly can. So basically, at this one church, I met a group of people, a couple actually, super cool. We had a lot in common, we hit it off, and so we kind of started to hang out. So then one afternoon they invited me over to their place. I was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. So I go over there, we're hanging out. It was really fun, and then I'm getting ready to leave. Right before I was about to leave, there was another couple. So there's couple A and there's couple B. Couple A is the people that I had already kind of like made friends with, and I was over at their place and we're hanging out. Couple B is friends with couple A, and I had met couple B, like both people, but we were acquainted, but we weren't like friends or anything like that. So anyways, couple B needs to come over to couple A's house to pick up some supplies for some sort of project. And as I'm getting ready to leave, like I walk out of their place, that's when couple A shows up. And so it's like, oh, okay, obviously we're gonna exchange some words and whatever. And that is the first time that couple B sees the van. Here's where it gets pretty awesome. So the husband of that couple is like, oh, hey, nice van. I actually have that van, I think. And then we get to tell, he's like, what kind of, like, what year is it, make, model, whatever. So we kind of hash out all of that, and we're like, whoa, that's so crazy. We have the same exact van. Which I know that totally doesn't sound like, okay, yeah, there's lots of these. But I've never met anyone with a 2001 Dodge Ram 3500 extended version. So anyways, we're like, wow, that's actually really weird, but super cool. And then he just offers up, he's like, yeah, mine's not really working, and I'm getting ready to scrap it. So, like, do you need any parts or anything? Because I kind of need to get rid of it. And oddly enough, out of all of the van parts, this was kind of the first one that came to my mind. Okay, super luxury. My knob here has been missing. It was broken, so it's just like really loose. And so in order to change the temperature, I kind of just have to pinch this and adjust it. Super ghetto, I know. I had the knob, this part was broken, so I would have just had to buy another one. Not like it's expensive, I'm just lazy. But look what was in the van. Okay, I can't do this one-handed. Can I? Can I? Oh, maybe. Nope, be right back. Boom, baby. But besides just the dial thing, like, there wasn't anything that I specifically needed right then, like, that was pertinent, you know? But keeping in mind that this vehicle is 2001, it sometimes is a little difficult to find certain parts. So I was just kind of like, well, I don't think I like need anything, but since you're just gonna scrap it, like, would you mind if I just kind of grab some odds and ends, like little extra things? And he was like, yeah, dude, totally. Like, that van is not even registered in my brain anymore as something that I own. So it's like, just whatever you want, take it, it's yours. And so naturally, I'm like, yeah, totally gonna take you up on that. So then, like, the next day, I get there, I show up, and I can just kind of see the van, and I'm like, whoa, this is kind of super trippy. It's like, that's literally what my van looked like before I put the high top on, and it's just kind of weird. And of course, like, I did not go alone. There was no way that was gonna work. I went with 2 other people, one of which was a mechanic, so I could not have done all of this without both of them. But it was kind of funny just to, like, look over and see both vans, like, almost identical with both of their hoods up, and just like tons of tools and stuff, and it's like, all right, like, let's do this. So I just opened up my van and cleared out some space so that I could put some plastic down. That's where I was gonna throw everything. So after the little knob for the temperature, the next thing that I really wanted was the hubcaps. I've also been missing this from this back wheel since I got the van. So we started with those, and then they kind of just started taking all kinds of things off of that van and being like, here, we should take this, we should take that. And I was like, yeah, sounds good to me. And random side note, there was wildlife. But yeah, it was super, super helpful, and I'm so grateful that I had these two people helping me, especially one being a mechanic. 100% made the job a million times easier because he knew what we should get just in general. He knew what we should get specifically because it was really hard to find in regards to this van. So yeah, I don't think that could have really worked out any better than it did. And then this was something that we had discussed before this even went down, and I found people to help me and they agreed to it or whatever. But we had kind of talked about, well, it's great and all that I could get these extra parts, especially for free, but like, where am I gonna put them? Because I don't really want to live with them. And so that was another thing that just kind of like worked itself out. There was someone that I knew that just had a whole bunch of space that they weren't utilizing, and we're like, hey, you can keep all those extra parts here, and I'm in no rush to need the space. And then of course, like me, I'm thinking like, okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna take maybe like the seals for the windows. I did need some of those. The knob for the temperature, and I don't know, like the alternator or something, like, because that would be good to have, right? And I'm like, that sounds good, like that should be it. Just a handful of items. These two went cray cray. I kid you not, by the time that we left that other van, that poor other van, it was stripped almost bare. Like they were just on a roll. They're like, let's take the speakers, let's take like the lock things, let's take the screws to this, let's take the knobs to that. So then we go around to the hood, and one of them is like, hey, these containers for the washer fluid and the coolant and stuff, the ones in this van are cleaner than the ones in yours and in like a little better condition, so let's just take these too. Like, you guys, it got so serious that they closed the hood because we were supposed to be done, right? Closed both hoods, actually. They looked at my van, they looked at the other van, and they were like, you know what? That hood is nicer than yours. Because mine has a little bit of chipping of the paint and there's a little rust starting, and the other one was not like in perfect condition, but it was better looking. So they're like, yeah, that one's better than yours. Let's take the hood. And I thought they were like, I was like, are you guys joking? Like, I almost feel bad. Like, we are literally taking, like, let's just take the van. Let's just take the van, right? I mean, that's kind of where we're at this point. But they weren't joking. They were not joking at all. So needless to say, we ended up with like a whole nother van inside of my van, just in parts. Which of course, I mean, I wasn't like objected to. I just kind of was like, wow, I had no idea that this is what I was going to be doing today. I thought I was coming here to get like one or two things. So then after that, we just went to where we were going to store everything, put all the van parts in there. I cleaned up the van, and that was kind of it. And I know, I'll be the first to admit that maybe that story isn't like the most exciting thing in the world, but it's definitely not something just like totally normal, because there were a lot of things that had to happen in a specific way for that all to go down. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me being at couple A's house to couple B showing up as I was there in order for him to see the van, the fact that he had the same exact van, the fact that he was generous enough to be like, I don't even want any money, you'd be doing me a favor if you can get some of that stuff out of here. And then within a 24-hour period of that happening, being able to find people to help me do that who had the capabilities and the knowledge to do that very well, and then finding a place to store everything. And that's kind of why I'm just like, that was you, because that kind of stuff doesn't just happen. And moments like that are just like one of my favorite things about life, where you're literally just like, this is so crazy, but this is my life right now. Like, this is really happening. And it's precisely because of the fact that those things are just so like, what? Did they just make me super grateful and appreciative of life and just the people that I know and the experiences that I have and everything like that. So it was just a fun, beautiful little moment that happened that I wanted to share with you. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time.